In this video, we'll review how to balance marketing copy with an accessible homepage heading structure. For more information and examples, check out our articles linked below. Home pages tend to be different than the typical content page, and for good reason. We want them to tell a story with their words and visuals. For example, Calm's homepage uses headings that sound friendlier. A typical content page might use Calm app as a heading 1. Instead, the heading 1 is Calm Your Mind, Change Your Life. Using this type of language isn't a problem as long as the heading structure is still accessible. An important part to an accessible heading structure is the headings organize the page's content. This means a heading should concisely describe the content that's below it. Headings need to do this because screen reader users, who are often non-visual users, rely on headings to navigate a page. Let's listen to Mac's VoiceOver screen reader announce Calm's homepage with this in mind.
Welcome to VoiceOver.
VoiceOver on Chrome. Try Calm for free button. Headings menu. 1. Calm your mind. Change your life. 2. We're here to help you feel better. 3. Stress less. 3. Sleep more. 3. Live mindfully. 2. Trusted by the best in the business. 2. Over 2 million 5-star reviews. VoiceOver off.
None of these headings are too long, and they do a good job of explaining the content below them. If I scroll down the page, I also notice the visual emphasis, or the larger text that draws my attention, matches the structure I heard when using the screen reader. This is a good example of balancing marketing copy with the heading structure. When writing headings for home pages, 3 common issues can cause the heading structure to be inaccessible. First is long headings. Often marketing copy is longer, but several of these longer headings can clutter a screen reader's output. Next is the heading is actually content and should be paragraph text. These headings also clutter a screen reader's output and don't describe the content below them. This can result in screen reader users skipping past the content they're looking for since the heading didn't describe what's there. Lastly, what's visually emphasized should be semantically emphasized in the HTML too. This means if something is important enough to visually emphasize as large text or any other visual emphasis, it should be semantically emphasized in the HTML, usually by being a header, so screen reader users don't miss it. This doesn't mean all the headline copy that is large and bolded should be a heading. When thinking about if the visual and semantic emphasis match, consider the goal of the visual emphasis and make sure those goals are also met in the semantics. Let's review 2 examples while asking ourselves these questions. Is the heading too long? Should the heading actually be paragraph content? Does the heading describe the content below it? And does the visual emphasis match the semantic emphasis? First is a heading for a pet hotel. The heading reads, "We are an exceptional resort designed exclusively around quality care for your furry family members." This heading is 15 words, so I'd consider it long. It also isn't a heading. It isn't describing any content beneath it. It's paragraph content that's been given heading HTML. A heading like this can make the heading structure confusing because it clutters the audio output and doesn't describe the content below it. To fix it, I'd remove this from the heading structure and make it paragraph content. I'd move the content to below the first heading. Now it reads, Heading 1, More than just pet care. We care about your pet. Then the paragraph content, "We are an exceptional resort designed exclusively around quality care for your furry family members." Now for the last question. Does the visual emphasis match the semantic emphasis? It's easy to think that since the paragraph content is visually emphasized by being larger and bolder, it should also be a heading, so it's semantically emphasized. But the heading 1, "More than just pet care, we care about your pet," already semantically emphasizes the idea that this pet hotel goes beyond just watching your pet. They care about your pet. If a screen reader user wants to learn more about what they do, they can continue to listen to the content we moved below it. The goals of the visual emphasis match the semantic emphasis. Our last example is a website marketing software company. The heading reads, "Find the perfect tools for your business." Below the heading are 5 tabs. Each tab has an icon and a business type the user could pick from to see what tools would help in their specific niche. These 5 business types are visually emphasized with icons. They also literally organize the content below them by business type, so they act as headings for that content, but they aren't headings in the HTML. This means a visual user goes from the H2, find the perfect tools for your business, to the 5 business types. But a screen reader user would go from find the perfect tools for your business to the next heading on the page. They'd miss that content. So the headings aren't long, and they do describe the content below them, but the visual emphasis doesn't match the semantic emphasis. A simple fix is to make the 5 business types headings. Their visual styling doesn't have to change, but making them a heading 3 would nest them under the heading 2 so a screen reader user can easily access them too. In both of these examples, we found ways to balance the marketing copy with the heading structure so all users have a better experience. You're ready to create accessible heading structures on your own home pages.